Bradley, the chance to get into the top 4 tonight, gone. A 1-0 home loss to 10-man Everton.
We was never getting top 4. We will not get top 4. We'd be lucky to get top 10 under this manager. This I didn't change my mind, and I'm so glad I didn't, because all that shows, winless in 3 games, and with that performance, all it shows is those 3 wins in a row was a fluke. It was a fluke that we won more than 1 game in a row. He's not good enough. The team selection was dreadful. As soon as it's in the lineup, I was worried, because the one good thing we had in the team was the Ahmad and Mbumo partnership. Last 2 games he's broke it up. Why? I don't understand it. It was the only positive in the team, the Ahmad and Mbumo partnership.
Was it because there's no Sesko, there's no Cunha?
No excuse, because you got Mason Mount fit, you got Xerxes fit. You should have played Mason.
And he went to it at half time, didn't he, to put them back to where they was.
And that's him admitting that he got it wrong. And that's what effed the game up for us, because all Everton did, all David Moyes had to do, was put in Jai and Jack Grealish into the midfield, and it was a 4v2. And then when it went to 10 men, it was a 3v2. We got overloaded in the midfield in the first half, and that's where the problems came from. It was so obvious, and I don't understand why he thought that was going to work. And do you know what? I guarantee David Moyes says the same thing as Pep Guardiola, Marco Silva, Keith Andrews, and Mikel Arteta. He'll say the same thing, overload the midfield, because that's all you have to do against Ruben Amorim's Man United. It's not good enough. He's got to go. The players as well, absolutely shocking. Bruno, what are you doing for that shot? Why are you trying a fancy shot there? Just side foot it and put it in the back of the net. You probably go and win the game with momentum. But no, he's got main character syndrome like his manager, and thought, let me do the fancy passes, let me do the fancy shots, and it didn't come off today.
Is that a bit harsh to just single out Bruno when there were so many in terms of main character syndrome? I saw him trying things. It's obviously not going right. He is the guy we look to. That's the guy you want on the ball. He's trying to make things happen. He's messed up that shot. He also forced an amazing save from Pickford. He had one that went just over the bar. And we were saying it. These are the types of games where actually you're going to need an individual moment of brilliance. And who else is it going to be rather than someone like Bruno? Xerxes had some shots on target too.
I'll get on to more players. Yeah. Ahmad, poor. Not his usual self. Mbumo, poor. Not his usual self. But he broke up that partnership. Casemiro, poor. But again, we had a 2-man central midfield. Bruno and Casemiro were poor in there. But they were left isolated on an island.
One guy walked past us and said, playing with Xerxes is like playing with 10 men. How do you feel with him today?
No, I think that's ridiculous.
He's been out.
Do you know what? Do you know what? He's not been played all season. He's barely been coming off the bench, and then he gets the one start. He comes out the cold. And I knew people were going to rip into him, and I absolutely knew it. And I can't stand that, because you've got to give him a bit of a run. If you're going to give managers time, you're going to give players time, then you got to treat it equally.
You shouldn't be blaming Xerxes.
Yeah, absolutely. And do you know what? He was the only player that was actually trying to make runs into the box and forced 2 saves from Pickford. He was the only guy that forced 2 saves from Pickford. Senny Lamens was not great today, but again, it was clearly an instruction today to play out from the back, and we played straight into Everton's hands in the first half, because all we did is Senny Lamens would play it into the centre back and then initiate the press, because then it goes into the 2-man midfield, and then Njai, Grealish, Dewsbury Hall, Idrissa Gueye got sent off, so them 3 would just hunt in packs and go for that 2.
Why do you think we switched up for? We've been talking about how successful we've been going long. Now, I know Sesko wasn't there, and even when Cunha has been up front, we've still gone long and tried to not necessarily win the first, but win the second balls. Today, we started, putting the ball down on the 6-yard line, give it to Senny Lamens, trying to play out like you was just talking about.
Yeah.
Is that another thing as well, that actually stick with the basics, keep going long?
It was working. I don't understand why we won 3 games in a row, and I went, prove me wrong and show me that winning more than 1 game in a row, because he hadn't done it before, that those 3 wins, show me and prove to me that you can be tactically good enough, be tactically adaptable, have good in-game management, make good team selections. But the last 3 performances, and do you know what, people haven't talked about it enough after Tottenham and Forest, because on paper it's 5 games unbeaten. But today's result, if we play how we did against Forest and Tottenham, a loss is on the cards, and that's what happened tonight. So then it's going to look like then people are going to be fuming about today. I'm fuming, but I'm fuming about the other 2 games leading up to this game as well.
It's a follow-on, isn't it?
Absolutely, but it wasn't talked about because on paper,
well, there were good points in the end, weren't they? Because of where we were in those games. But even though it's 2 points dropped against Spurs, to get something out of it, it helps the narrative, like you say, because you're unbeaten in 5 and you get 3 wins and 2 draws, and you take that. Yeah. But then when you follow that up with a home loss, when your home form's been good, and then your next game is Palace away, it changes.
Because we've been so bad, 5 games unbeaten on paper looked great. But the last 2 performances of those 5 unbeaten games were so bad. The performances were really poor, and it was again today. And the concern is we play Crystal Palace away next. We're probably not going to win that game, so then it's going to be winless in 4 games. Then you play Wolves away, and it's a new manager bounce, and then the pressure's really on at Wolves away now, because we're probably not going to beat Crystal Palace, and then it just goes back to what it was.
Back to square one.
What it was. Yeah. It's just really concerning.
I think. Listen, I said it was a humbler. It is one of those ones that reminds us all, for anyone that was getting carried away during the 5-game thing, and I know you certainly wasn't, but it does give us that reminder of how far away we are, and the manager has been saying that. In a lot of times, he's under no illusions that, excuse me, he knows that we're far away from where we want to be. But that performance tonight, from a player perspective versus the manager perspective, where do you sit with what we saw tonight? Was it both? Was it because the team selection was wrong? Are the players getting away with it, or were Everton just good?
No. Everton. Credit to Everton, because they came here. They've won it with 10 men. You've got to give Everton their respect. And you've got to do that. However, first half, the way we played in that first half, I put that on Ruben Amorim. The first half is 100% on Ruben Amorim.
Because you had the wrong players out there.
And the way we were set up with the wing-backs being too deep, not in line with the 2 central midfield players, which we've seen previous before the 3 wins in a row, and we was getting punished, and we got punished tonight, and we got punished before the international break at Forest and Tottenham. Then the second half is 100% on the players, because he did make the changes, and what we showed is that we didn't have the invention to break Everton down, because Everton all they did was sit back. Again, Casemiro gave the ball away. I think Casemiro's been superb this season, but he was poor today. I really like Casemiro, but if I'm going to be honest, he wasn't good today. Bruno was really poor today. Ahmad was poor today, and Mbeumo was poor today.
Even the back line, I think the 3
centre backs, was not good enough.
Their distribution, everyone was just slow and scared to really move the ball and pass between the lines and make things happen. It was all just static and side to side.
Yeah, there was no passes through the line, and also we didn't know when to keep up. We didn't know when to slow it down. We didn't know when to speed it up, and that was really concerning, because there was times where we were playing it really fast when we didn't need to, and then there was moments where we were like just hoofing it for no reason, and it was just not good enough today.
Do you think we can bounce back against Crystal Palace? That's what's going to be needed. How important is it to have someone like Mateus Cunha back? We know Sesko's obviously out. Do you persist with Xerxes? How do you see it going forward?
I'm not convinced. It's good. I said we'll be lucky to get top 10 if Ruben Amorim stays the full season. I think this squad is capable of getting top 4. But under this manager, and I really want to be wrong, I want Man United to do well, because I come here every week. I go and support the team. I really want Man United to do well. But I can't see it with this manager. I really hope he proves me wrong, but I can't see us getting top 4. I think we'll be lucky to get top 10, and I really worry about that Crystal Palace game and the Wolves away game.
Yeah.